And I'm gonna play the intro, and then we get started.
He say, basement, boxing tall. You know I'm a warrior, right? Fuck that, I'm a champion. Basement, boxing talk. Left, right, jab in the hook. Better protect your jaw. 12 rounds if you can last. Better protect your fall. I got hits like Mayweather. You hit that round of applause. No question, the problem solved. Basement, boxing talk. Left, right, jab in the hook. Better protect your jaw. 12 rounds if you can last. Better protect your fall. I got hits like Mayweather. You hit that round of applause. No question, the problem solved. I'm feeling cocky. I hit a thing to beat the ring, a boof up like I'm Rocky. ASAP, any opponent think they can stop me. I stay strapped, tryna learn my moves so you can copy. You gotta give it your all. Gotta give it your all. When you're back against the wall. When you're back against the wall. When you the one people call. When you the one people call. To keep greatness involved. To keep greatness involved. Basement, boxing talk. Left, right, jab in the hook. Better protect your jaw. 12 rounds if you can last. Better protect your fall. I got hits like Mayweather. You hit that round of applause. No question, the problem solved. Basement, boxing talk. Left, right, jab in the hook. Better protect your jaw. 12 rounds if you can last. Better protect your fall. I got hits like Mayweather. You hit that round of applause. No question, the problem solved.
Hey, this is your boy Basement Boxing Talk coming to you live from Clutch Radio, Clutch Studio. How everybody doing? We got a special guest in the building. I'm trying to wait to let the panel come up, but we got a special guest, Mr. Ronald Sims. And this is gonna be a great show today. Mr. Ron, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Basement Boxing. Thanks for inviting me on.
Yes, sir. We appreciate you coming. We got. I'm trying to wait on our panel to show up before we get started. So we just sit here for a few seconds. But hey, for those who don't know, they should know. Could you just get a world a little bit about yourself? Tell them a little bit about yourself.
Okay. First of all, my name is Ronald Sims. I'm a boxing coach, and I'm currently in India. I'm coaching Olympian Vikas Krishnan. This will be his third Olympic Games, and this time we're going for the gold. I got involved in boxing long time ago. I've been in it for like 47 years now. I started in Washington, D.C. At the age of, I believe, 19. I didn't get my first bout until I was 21 when I joined the military. I ended up making 3 Olympic trials, 1988, 1992, and 1996. And I never made the Olympic team, but I was high. I was a highly ranked amateur boxing. And as soon as I finished boxing, I went straight into coaching. I've been a consecutive member of USA Boxing since 1983. That's a long time. And
Yes, sir.
I love the sport of coaching. I mean, I love the sport of boxing, and I'm coaching, and I'm trying to instill some things that I see is a problem, with our sport. Instill some things that I see is a problem, with our sport.
Go ahead. My bad. We have some audio problems. Hey, I like to before you get to talking, I like to get a shout out. We got Mike 202 in the building. Salute, brother. And we got D Low Boxing 404. Salute, brother. Salute. Go ahead, Ron.
Okay. Fortunately, I met you on Clubhouse, a new social media Clubhouse, and you was speaking, you were shooting some stuff, man, and I'm like, okay, and you from my area, you know a lot of stuff about about boxing, and it intrigued me. So I followed you,
Yes, sir.
so and I appreciate you inviting me on your show.
I appreciate you coming. I appreciate you coming. All the guys kind of running a little bit late here today. I don't want to get the show too started without them. Yes, I was looking at one of your old fights. One of your old fights against hold on, let me tell you exactly who it was too. And they robbed you. Oh, hold on. It was Olympic.
That's my life story, man.
Oh man, it was a clean robbery though, man. Clean robbery.
Might have been Shane Swartz. Was that one Shane Swartz?
Yep. Shane Swartz, 1994. Man.
I know, man. I know.
What the hell were they thinking about?
He was their favorite. I mean, that's how it goes, man. That's how it goes. But I knew I won that bout, and Shane is a good guy. He's a good friend of mine. As a matter of fact, I knew him when he was a little boy. He was a little boy. His father was one of the coaches on the national team, and he came up to me, asked me for my autograph, and a couple of years later, we ended up fighting each other, and they ended up giving him. We fought like three or four times. But Shane was good.
Was that amateur? That was Olympic, wasn't it?
No, that was amateur. That was we used to have something called the sports festival back in the day.
Okay.
Sports festival was something like I don't know if you ever heard of Ted Turner. Ted Turner, he used to invented the 24-hour news. Well, he used to put a sporting event every year where he would bring in the top athletes in the country and compete against each other, almost like the Olympics in every sport. And he used to pay for the whole thing. We used to have uniforms and everything. And we used to do this every year except for the Olympic year. And it was an awesome tournament. And it'd be great if we can go back to things like that, because that's when we were at the top in boxing and in the world.
Hey, I like to say salute to the Black Star Sports TV too. This is another good brother who comes on the panel every week. This is my good brother, Mr. Sims. I'm introducing to him. Mr. Sims is the Black Star. This is Mr. Sims.
Hey, how's it going, Black Star Sports?
All right. How you doing, good brother? How's everything?
Everything's good. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, man. You're a local guy, man. I'm from the DMV as well.
Okay, I'm ready to listen to some stuff.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he let me know yesterday you was gonna be on here, man. I was like, oh man, I gotta catch you, link up with you.
Yeah,
Yes.
I go way back. I don't know if you guys remember. As a young boy back in the day in 90, I believe it was 96, named Gary Jones. I don't know if y'all remember Gary Jones. He's the older brother of the Russell Russell gang. The Gary Russells. He's the older brother.
Russell. He's the older brother of the Russ. Okay, man. Yeah.
Salute.
What you said back in '96?
He said 96. Salute to Bruce Goes. He's in the building. You hip to what he talking about, Black Star?
Man, yeah, that's hometown stuff there. For sure.
So that's
Yeah, man.
hometown stuff.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, I just remember, a lot from at the amateurs and everything, the Pan Am games and stuff like that. And man, yes, sir.
Mr. Sims, tell us what got you into boxing?
Okay, my father was in the military, and we were stationed in Germany, and they had a big fight coming on. I didn't know anything about boxing, and they had a big fight. It was in Germany. It was coming on TV. It was Muhammad Ali versus Joe Frazier, and this guy Ali was very charismatic, and I was like, I just fell in love with the guy. Just watching his personality. So unfortunately, I did not get to see the fight, but after that, I was intrigued with the guy, and I just started following him. And I always wanted to box because of him, but I never did get to box until I joined the military, which was when I was. This happened when I was 14 years later. That's when I finally got the chance to actually get in the ring.
Yeah, what branch were you in?
So that's how I got into it.
Repeat that, Black Star.
So, what branch of the military were you in, bro?
Oh, my father was in the Air Force, and then I ended up going in the Air Force also. I did 23 years in the Air Force.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, Brother Basement got someone near and dear to him about to go that route.
Yep.
Air Force, that's the way to go. That's the way to go.
It's my daughter going to the Air Force. So, salute to the good brother, the underrated, the #1 grinder. There's another good brother that comes on the panel. This is my good brother, Mr. Coach Sims. #1 grinder, this is Coach Sims.
How's it going, #1 grinder?
Hey. The man of the hour. All right. Yeah, we're looking forward for this. Hey, shout out to brother Basement Boxing Talk. I want you to go sub to the brother. Also, I want you to go sub to Black Star Sports TV. Also, our other brother, Clarence McClain of Facebook. I want you to go sub and welcome, brother. Thank you so much for blessing us. This is a treat right here. All right.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, bro. So you say you started boxing when you got in the military. So you had to be pretty young, huh?
Actually, I was 21.
Okay.
I was 21.
Yeah, young to us, but older in boxing to get started in boxing though. Man, that's amazing. And
exactly, I was an older guy because I was around there. Actually, like I said, I started in '85. I ended up making Olympic trials in '88. In '88 was a tough team. I don't know if y'all remember Andrew Maynard.
Yeah, I remember Andrew Maynard.
Had Andrew Maynard, had Ray Mercer, had Kennedy McKinney.
Yeah.
Had Anthony Hembrick. 88 was a tough team, man.
Yeah.
They were some killers, man. They were some killers.
Yeah, I tell you, that team was very underrated. When they talk about Olympic boxing, I think that team, they don't talk about '88, but that's a very underrated team. That's what I feel.
Yeah,
very underrated,
man. He started at 21 in the military. Now Ray Mercer, he did the same thing, but I think Ray Mercer was like 20. He was like 26 or something like that, wasn't he? He was a little older than you when he started.
Mm-hmm.
But Mercer was stationed in Baumholder in Germany, and I was in Germany with them, and he was one of the guys I looked up to because I was new in boxing, but he was one of them. I mean, I'm telling you, them Army guys were some hard guys, man. I tell you, there's a guy by the name of Eddie Cook. He's in the area right now. He's down in Richmond. Virginia. And he ended up becoming a world champion. But him and Kenny McKinney was sparring one day. This was before the Olympics, and they were like best friends. They were trying to kill each other, man. And I hadn't sparred yet, man. I'd never been so scared in my life, man. There were some hard dudes, man. They was hard.
Yeah, man. It seemed like the focus back then was more of trying to annihilate the other guy. You weren't trying to be friends. Wasn't no friendly sparring.
No, and they was best of friends, and they were trying to kill each other.
Oh man, that's something else, man.
Salute to She We here in the building. Salute to Bruce Goals. Salute to God Body Sports News. Salute, good brothers.
Peace. Let's see you.
All right, all
Peace,
right.
peace, peace, fam.
Yeah, man. So you made the national team, I see, huh?
Yeah, I made a national team quite a few times because I had never intended to turn professional. You know,
Yeah.
my goal when I first started was to be number one in the country. I didn't really know anything about the Olympics or anything. I just wanted to be number one in the country.
Yeah.
And
So, not to cut you off, coach, but you said your plans was never to turn pro.
yeah, my plans was never to turn pro. I was just wanted to be number one in the country in amateur boxing. But I did end up turning pro.
What was your
many
record in
years-
pro?
I was 11-0 with 8 knockouts, and end up breaking my second metacarpal in my hand in my 11th bout. They had me wearing some 8-ounce gloves, and I knew I was a hard hitter, but I never thought that I would break my hand. I thought that, hey, I would kill somebody, in these gloves, and I hit the guy and broke it clean in half. End up stopping the guy, but after that was it for me.
Oh wow. What weight class you was in, coach?
I boxed 168. I was super middleweight.
Oh, yeah. I know you was putting them to sleep. I know it make you feel good. I know they were sleeping. You hit them. I know that for a fact. But I heard. I did some looking too. You was giving them the night court. I could tell you that one when I see. I see. I thought like, whoa, yeah, coach you were putting them to sleep. I was like, yeah. I remember the one guy you hit him so hard like that. He was like shaking. I'm like, damn. That's nice, good medicine I would like to have. I get sick.
Oh man. Hey, so who were some of the interesting people that you had sparred?
There was awesome people. I fought Chris Bird twice. Jeremy, I don't know if you know Jeremy Williams.
Yeah, I remember Jeremy Williams.
Montel Griffin.
Yeah.
Roy Jones got it.
Yeah. Since since 92, everybody from 92 to like maybe 2012, I know all the boxers that came through the program, all the amateur boxers that came through the program, because I stuck with the program. In 2016, I ended up coming over here to India, so I'm kind of losing touch with the new kids that's coming up. We had Shakur in the gym with us. I don't know if y'all know Shakur Stevenson. He was in the gym with us.
Of course we know him.
We know him.
Coach.
In Alexandria, Virginia, at ALX Park.
Yeah. I'm not too far from there. Matter of fact, shoot, man. When I heard he was that close, man, I'm sitting there like, man, you gotta be kidding me. I'm sitting right here and he right here in my backyard. Come on, man.
Now I'm gonna tell you when I found out that's when I found out the kid was the truth. This guy went to Bulgaria and fought in the world championships. Fought 6 times, beat everybody, got most outstanding boxer. He jumped on the plane, flew to New Jersey. The next morning, he jumped on the train and caught the train down to Union Station. I picked him up at Union Station, took him to the gym, trained at the gym. Then we went to go weigh in for the Golden Gloves, and he fought in the Golden Gloves. I was like, this kid is crazy. He's just from the world, and then he's gonna just catch a plane, catch a train, and then go fight again. This guy loves boxing.
Hey, you hear it first from the coach. Shakur Stevenson is a beast, huh? He's a beast.
Well, he is something else. He's special. He's a special guy, man. I think God blessed him with some extra senses.
Wow. We don't hear that many trainers that say that.
Right. And by you saying that, let's get to wait. Tell us some of your the toughest fights that you had with some of the guys that we should know from boxing. Professional, amateur, don't matter.
Toughest fights. My toughest fights were my early fights. Like I don't know if you guys ever heard of a William Guthrie. He's from St. Louis, and this guy's a softball. You know, I was new. This is like in 1980. I think it's 1985, and this guy hit me with a jab, and it hurt. I mean, it hurt so bad. I was like, oh man, he hit me with a jab. I can't let him hit me with that other hand. but hey, Guthrie was a bad dude. I got to spar Anthony Hembrick. Hembrick was like a snake. I couldn't hit him. Chris Bird was like a snake. It's hard to hit him. But I got a lot of experience from from international boxers like Alexander Lebziak, the Cuban. I can't. What's his name right now? Ariel Hernandez. Oh man, that dude. They said he was the best pound for pound in the world, and he ended up stopping me. He stopped me with a bolo shot to the solar plexus. Man, I was paralyzed for like 8 seconds. I couldn't move. I couldn't.
I remember.
Air wouldn't come in. I was just froze. I was stuck.
Man,
they stopped that fight.
That's that punch Jamal. That's that punch. Zero with.
Yep. That's what I was just getting ready to bring up. You know, having been through that, have feeling that, a lot of people looked at that knockdown with Jermell Charlo against Jason Rosario. I don't know if you got to see that there, Coach, but it was similar to that because he hit him with a body shot and the guy kind of, went down and just kind of like that was it. And having been through that and you expressing how it felt, you can validate it for some of these people that don't really know, boxing like that.
No doubt about it. Everything stops, and it feels like you're about to die because you have no control of anything. It's a crazy feeling, but then after 8 seconds, everything is okay.
I'm going to fix some food for us.
Yes, indeed, man. Yeah, that's something, man. Yeah, but I remember that fight. I actually got to see that one. Yeah, that was with the Pan Am Games. What it was, 95 or something like that?
Yeah, that was in 95 in Mar del Plata, Argentina.
Yeah, man.
So, Coach, you said everywhere. You said you trained from the amateurs from what years?
Oh, I started training amateurs in 1997. So I trained from 97. I still train amateurs today.
And you said but you dealt with amateurs over here all the way up to 2012.
Yes, we're a little bit further than 2012. I was a part of the national team all the way from that point to, from 97 to 2000, maybe 2015.
Could you let the people who know who listening, some of the guys that you've been in the gym with, some of the that's maybe professional right now, or some amateurs that you've been in the gym with, working with, about to turn pro?
I don't think I can tell you anybody that's about to turn pro now because I've been away for a little bit, but I can tell you like the people that's making noise now. Most of them I've been around. Like the Earl Spence, the Terrence Crawfords, the Jesse Harts, the Demond Nicholson is about to fight Berlanga now. I wasn't around Berlanga, but Demond Nicholson, I've known him since he was a little boy. I don't know if y'all know Troy Isley from Alexandria, Virginia.
Yeah.
Plus we got just about all of them. Terrell Gachet. I saw Hammond when he was a little boy coming up. He's from Florida. Saw what's the guy? Other guy.
Just called DeMonte Clark.
Yeah, that's
No,
long ago.
DeMonte Clark I think he's from. Is he from Minnesota? I think is he from Minnesota? I think
Cincinnati.
Okay, Cincinnati. I remember the name, but I don't remember him too tough, but I remember the name, and I thought he was from Minnesota. Jamal James from Minnesota.
I was saying DeMonte Clark had just fought Terrell Gachet. He fought him a few weeks ago. He fought him a few weeks ago.
I could tell you, I told Terrell Gachet back in 2009, we did World Championships in Milan. And I told him, I said, yo, man, you got a right hand. You need to use that right hand because ain't nobody going to be able to stand that. If you throw that right hand, nobody will be able to stand it. But he just kind of hesitate with that right hand. He holds it back too long. I don't care who he hit. If he hit you with that right hand, he can take you out. I don't care if you're a heavyweight. That's how good his right hand is.
Man.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Hey, well, we saw results of that last fight. Yeah.
We did see the result of that from not protecting himself. So, okay, Coach, tell me some of the fights that you would like to see happen that we haven't seen happen right now. It's going on in boxing right now.
Well, of course, everybody wants to see EJ versus Terrence Crawford. I think that's the number one bout that I'm interested in seeing, and I really want to see is Jose Ramirez versus what's the guy name?
Josh Taylor.
Yes, Josh Taylor.
Yeah.
I'm going for Jose. I'm a USA guy, and I think Jose is a special type of guy, also. He has a lot of confidence in himself. He's a hard worker, and he's a gritty type of guy. He's a smart guy.
Yeah.
So I definitely got to pull for him.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one myself too, man. That's gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
Real good fight, yeah.
Yeah. Coach, so let me ask you this question. This has been on my mind for a minute now. Now, when you was fighting, when you was fighting the amateurs, USA has some pretty good trainers, and in the amateurs and stuff. It was really top notch for a long time in the world. There's some that even professional that actually come to the United States. Just to train. Ask me why. Tell the people why there's no good training no more of amateurs and even professionals.
All right. Number one, Grinder. I can tell you my perspective because a lot of my old teammates, they're coming back as coaches, and they come and they look and they ask me, "Hey, what happened to our program?" And I tell them that you happened to our program, and they look at me like, "What do you mean?" I said, "You happened. This is what happened. When you turned pro, you took your coach with you. And then what happened is that somebody that was in the gym watching, they told the people, hey, I know what they were doing. I know what he was doing. So I can do it." So they took over the job of the coach. And when you look at a coach do things, you don't, just because you look don't mean you understand what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we got a lot of people that end up moving in because the real coaches moved out and took their boxers to professional to go make money. And they didn't pass the baton. They didn't go through class. They didn't teach them. People just, hey, I can do it. I know. I've been watching them for years. I know what the coach, the coach is doing. But in all actuality, in my opinion, they really don't know what was going on. And I give you a prime example. I can't remember when was this? This is like 2009. Yes, 2009. I know you all know Rashi Warren.
Yeah.
Okay, Rashi Warren. He fought in national championships in Denver, Colorado. Okay, this time we had the computer scoring where they pushed the button. Okay, 3 judges had to push the button within 1 second to get a score. Okay, Cuba. Everybody look at Cuba as the best boxing minds in the world. Well, Cuba, this is what they would do. They were beating everyone. The bell would ring. They would come out. Boom, boom. Land a punch. And then it looked like they were running.
Mm-hmm.
They get the lead. It looked like they were running. But that's not what they were doing. Okay? So I saw Rashi Warren. He's fought this guy by the name of Magdaleno from Las Vegas. They're in the finals. Going into the 3rd round, Rashi is up by 7 points. 7 points he's up by. And whoever's in this corner is telling him, hey, run, run, run. Okay? So he's running. And Magdaleno's chasing him, throwing. When the bell rings, the score is tied up. Rashi was up by 7 points. The score is tied up at the end of the bout. Who wins the bout? Magdaleno wins the bout because he threw more punches. It was tied, but they gave it to Magdaleno. Okay, and because the coaches misinterpreted what the Cubans do. What the Cubans do is this: they get the lead. Okay, so now you must go after them, and they'll move, and they get you off balance so they can score again. They're not running; they're diverting you so that they can score some more. Yeah. But we had people that interpreted it as them running, and that's not what they were doing. So this is what I'm talking about. People think they know what's going on, but they really don't know what's going on.
Go ahead, Coach.
Yeah. So this is what I was saying. People, a lot of things you see, you think you know what's going on, but it's really not what's happening. And that's boxing.
Wow.
Salute to TS Boxing. God Body Sports said Ryan Garcia withdraws from Fortuna fight. What a duck. Wow.
Oh, I got another question, Coach. Who's your favorite fighter now?
I might be a little biased, but Shakur Stevenson, I think he's the most talented boxer I've seen, and I've seen a lot of them. I've seen Floyd, I've seen Zab Judah, I've seen Ricardo Williams Jr. I don't know if y'all know him. That boy was something, man. That boy was something else.
Coach, I'm from Cincinnati. You keep naming fighters from Cincinnati. I'm from Cincinnati.
Bias, yeah, cool.
Well, Cincinnati. Hey, Cincinnati, man, is something else, man. When I went there, they had like a street name like Ezra Charles. Charles. Like, man, you can't help become a good boxer if you live in that city.
Ezra Charles was a beast back in the day. A lot of people don't know that he was a world champion. A lot of people don't understand. Very underrated, fighter. Very underrated in those days. He fought the best, man. Like, but we want you out there, Coach. We need you in boxing because there's nobody like you. We don't see nobody in boxing right now that had the integrity and the coaching and what you had and the spiritual we had. We don't see it. And I know for me, I can speak behalf of the brothers, it's very, very disappointing that, especially in the USA, especially in the amateurs, come on. Really? Like, where's the dedication? And I know for you, it seems like it's like you by yourself.
Well, number one, grind out. I can't look at it like that because I think that we have a lot of people that's trying to is trying to make it and trying to help these kids out, and we got a lot of people that that don't have the finances in order to do that, but they have the heart. They have the heart, but I mean, unfortunately, you got to have more than just the heart. You got to have finance, to back you up. But then you have some that's looking to make money off of some of these kids, and I kind of think that is wrong. And the reason I think that is wrong because the way I came up. See, the way I came up is I didn't really have to pay for anything because I was in the military. I didn't have to pay for coaching. I didn't have to pay for equipment, and fortunately, I made it to the top within 3 years. So when I was at USA Boxing, they were giving us everything, and they was paying me money every month. I was getting paid money. I was every month and a half, 2 months. I was getting new gear. I was getting new shoes. I was getting. We had a lot of competition. We had 4 major national competitions every year, and the rankings would change. We would have the National Golden Gloves. We would have the Sports Festival. We have the U.S. Nationals. And did I say Golden Gloves? National Golden Gloves, Sports Festival, U.S. Nationals, and I can't remember. It was a 4th event that we would have, the POW, National POW. Those 4 events, they were split up quarterly, and the top people will be at those events, and it will determine what your ranking is. Let's say if I'm number 3, guess what? I lost to number 1 guy. Guess what? I'm getting him that next. I'm preparing for him this next tournament and then on the next quarter because I'm not going to be number 3. I'm reaching number 1, and we had competition. And guess what? As one got better, guess what? We kept trying to outdo each other. And when we would fight international, our top 4 would beat anybody international. Cuba, Germany, Russia, whatever, because we competed with each other constantly and we pushed each other, to the top. And this is what we need today. And there's a lot of things that's going on today that I disagree with.
Like what, Coach?
Like they have a national tournament now where it's an open tournament. Everybody just pay the money and they go. Okay, whereas before you had to start in your region and you had to advance. You had to fight your way through. You can't just go to a national tournament. You had to earn your way to a national tournament. Fight in your local, then you fight in your state, then you fight in your region, and then you represent your region at national. And it'll be the top 20 people in the whole country going against each other. And then you have your ranking. Now today, USA Boxing is making a lot of money off of these kids. Just saying, hey, and these parents sending their kids to the nationals. They need money, but back in my day, guess what? If you won your regionals, USA Boxing paid your whole team way to the nationals, and they paid for you your hotel and your food and everything. Things have changed.
Okay, I got a question for you then, Coach. Why doesn't more kids go to the Air Force and choose the route of boxing that you chose before going professional, than going straight professional? We're going straight professional right now, from amateur to professional.
Well, right now the Air Force does not have boxing. Right now, the only 2 militaries have boxing are the Marine Corps and the Army. And this is what the coaches back in the day, they were smart. People like Kenny Adams, Roosevelt Sanders, they would go recruit the number one boxers in the country and have them come into the Army or Marines and tell them, hey, you don't have to work. All you have to do is train, and we'll pay you. You'll get military pay. And that was their job, was to was to box, and I worked for the Marines, and I try to do the same thing. As a matter of fact, I forgot what year I bought a junior nationals to Camp Lejeune because I looked at the history and I said, okay, these junior boxers, guess what? I looked at the history and the number one junior boxers, they end up being the number one national boxers later on when they get older. So I said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to plant a seed. I'm going to have, these kids say, hey, we're giving you an opportunity to box full time, and you can join the Marine Corps, and guess what? You're going to get paid, and all you have to do is box. That's what my idea was. I was trying to recruit. I don't know if you guys in DC, if y'all know Day Grayton. I was looking at getting him, but he already had a government job. His mother had gotten him a government job down there in DC, so he wasn't trying to come.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now I'm looking through the chat to see anything in the chat. Okay. You say your favorite fighter right now is Shakur Stevenson.
What did you say?
You said your favorite fighter right now is Shakur Stevenson.
Oh yeah, Shakur, no doubt about it.
And okay. Damn. So who would you like? Shakur Stevenson got a fight coming up, don't he?
Yeah, he has a fight on the 12th of June in New York at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, they changing the venue, ain't they?
They're changing it now? I didn't know that. I have to talk to him.
I read something the other day. They said they was changing the venue. They're gonna move it from Madison Square Garden to somewhere else.
Okay, well, okay. I'm planning on being there, so I hope they don't move it from New York because I got my hotel and everything reserved and everything. So boxing is something else.
That's gonna be a major fight, man. That's gonna be a nice fight.
Nobody wants to fight him. None of the top guys want to fight him. I don't blame them, but
listen, this fight right here, Shakur fighting at 130, right?
Yeah, he's at 130.
Okay. It's a lot of smoke in that division. Tell us, why haven't we seen Shakur Stevenson and maybe Gary Russell?
I don't think Gary Russell is he 130? I don't think Gary Russell is 130.
He was 126. He got the title at 126. Shakur just moved up.
Yes. I like Gary Russell. As a matter of fact, I think that Gary Russell, the father, he teaches the best hook in the business. He teaches they got the best hook there is in the world to me. Okay, I've seen them come up, and as a matter of fact, I've seen him and Shakur spar before Shakur went to the Olympics with all the brothers. But hey, they train with each other, they like each other, and I don't see that fight happening. Not unless it's a whole lot of money put into it. But then you never know, it's boxing.
Bruce Gold said, why did Ron retire? Ron, he explained that a little bit earlier. Ron, can you explain to Bruce Gold why you retired?
Well, actually, I never intended to turn professional. I didn't turn professional until I was 34. And my last fight, I broke my second metacarpal clean in half. Got operated on. They told me that 6 months later I would be able to, to box and my hand would be stronger. I went back and I hit the bag and that pain was too much. And I was like, that's it. I'm going into coaching. So, So I ended up 11-0 with 8 knockouts, and the broken hand. That was it. And then another thing is this. This is one thing. Because I was amateur for a long time, and a lot of people knew who I was when I turned pro. So it was very hard for me to get. It was very hard for me to get professional fights. And I tell you, that's the worst thing for a boxer to do is to train and train and train, and can't get no fights. So it's very depressing, and it's very discouraging when you train and then you come for a weigh-in and the people pull out. So.
Right.
That was
Right.
it for me.
Right. Okay. It's a lot of bigger beef in boxing about fights not being made. People's a lot of fighters blaming on promoters blaming on other promoters. But they saying that you ain't on this side of the street, you're on this side of the street. Could you give us your input on boxing and how that's messing up the game? Or what's your impact on that?
I think it's a game. I think it's a game that people play, and if it makes money, if it makes a lot of money, they will make it happen. But I think a lot of people playing games, whether it's the promoters, which I think is for the most part it is the promoters, or if it's boxers that don't want to fight, and a lot of boxers they'll come out and talk stuff, just to get people to follow them, and they don't mean nothing they say. Just like what's the guy? He just won and he's a pretty good fighter out of California. The Mexican guy. He called out Shakur. Next we got Shakur.
Valdez,
yes. Valdez is a good fighter, but he's like, hey, I want Shakur next. Next day later, it's like he never even said it.
Okay. Now is that do you think that through the Valdez? Or do you think that through the Valdez promoters?
It's probably through the promoter because but then they have the same promoter. They both have top rank. As a matter of fact, yeah, they both have top rank. Matter of fact, remember Valdez was 26 champion. Then when Shakur came up, Shakur was a mandatory. He said, no, I'm going to 130. Now Shakur moved to 130.
Okay. I thought Valdez was under Golden Boy and Top Rank.
Yeah, well, he's with Top Rank. I don't know if he's the Golden Boy, but I do know he's with Top Rank.
Right.
Oscar was one of my teammates.
What'd you say?
I said Oscar was one of my teammates.
Okay.
Yeah. I know all them guys. They were my teammates, all of them.
And on what the 92 or 88?
92 team. 92.
Yep.
Oscar, Shane, Vernon Ford.
Vernon Forrest.
Yeah, Vernon Forrest, all of them. Yeah.
Man, you didn't came across some real legends.
Oh, you should have seen in 92, the toughest weight class is 139 pounds. You had Vernon Forrest, you had Shane Mosley, you had what's my man name from he became a world champion, Stevie Johnson. I don't know if y'all ever heard of Stevie Johnson. He became a world champion. Melvin Lewis, man, at 139, nobody knew who was going to win that weight class. It was that tight. 139 pounds. It was that tight.
Wow.
Yeah, Bruce, that is the year Oscar won the gold.
Yeah, Bruce goes, salute to Bruce. Bruce said, yeah, that was the year that Oscar won the gold. That's right.
We had another guy that you guys probably haven't heard of, and his name is Eric Griffin. He probably should have won the gold as well. He was a three-time world champion, back to back to back, and they robbed him in the Olympics.
Wow. So, Coach, you say Shakur Stevenson is one of your favorite fighters right now.
No doubt.
And at 130, man, I would love to see. Do you think? Listen to this. Do you think it's too early in Shakur Stevenson's career for him to fight a guy like Tank Davis?
No, I like Tank too. Tank, Tank's from Baltimore. Tank is very talented. They spar each other. They work with each other, help each other out. There's some fights I wouldn't want to see, because I know these kids, but
it puts you in a situation.
Hey, I would choose Shakur over everybody. Not that I'm against anybody else, but I would choose Shakur over everybody. That's just my stance with Shakur.
What is it in Shakur that you see in him that has you supporting him like that?
Man, like I say, God gave this kid an extra sense. And the kid hates. He cannot stand losing at anything. I'll give you an example. I've worked with him before. And the body thing. Okay, I had the body vest on, and then I had something inside the vest also, to give me more protection. And I have on gloves. I had big gloves. And guess what? He used to work the body. He can't hit me, but I'm trying to hit him as well. I'm trying to hit him. I was a boxer. I'm older now, but I'm a bigger guy, and I'm going after, and I'm really trying to hit him. And he can only hit me in the body. And he is killing me with the body front. It is hurting. So I'm like, okay, and I can't hit the guy. I cannot hit him. So when I watch this fight and I see him, you guys don't understand the feeling when he hit these guys to the body, and you see the guys react. Y'all have no idea how it feels. This guy, he hits super hard to the body, I've worked with him before. He hates to lose in everything. I'll tell you one thing I did with him. I had him, Antoine Douglas, and Jerry Odom. I don't know if you know Jerry Odom. It was a light heavyweight. He's from the DC area. Antoine Douglas from the DC area. Shakur. I took them to a swimming pool, and I put the buoy vest on them. Okay, they're in 10 feet of water, and they must race for 30 seconds. They must run as fast as they could. Of course, Jerry being 180 pounds and Antoine being 170 pounds, when they're moving their arms, they're going to move faster than a lighter Shakur who is 125. So when I go, Shakur is behind. And he said, "Nah, coach, I don't like this. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing this," because he feels like he's losing. And I'm telling him, I said, "No, man, don't worry about losing. I just need you to do the work. Just work. Just move as fast as you can." But he sees that they're making a gap between him and them, and he don't like that feeling. So he's like, "I don't want to do it." I said, "No, man, you need to do this. We need this work." And he did it, but the guy just he can't. He don't like losing at all. And that's a good thing.
True that too. Mike 202 said, "Coach, who do you have at 135? Shakur Stevenson versus Devin Haney. Who do you have?
I got Shakur. I got Shakur all the way. I don't care if it's up to 145, 150, 152, 156. I'm going with Shakur.
Wow. Wow. That's impressive, Coach. That's impressive.
If you got in there with them, you would see why. I'm telling you, people got to see. Now, like I said, there's a lot of things you see, but you don't understand. A lot of people see things, but they don't understand what's really going on. And when you watch his fights and watch the reaction of these guys, and you're like, okay, this guy can do this, but why isn't this guy taking it to this guy? Because a lot of people say the thing that people say, hey, Shakur is well, he's got bigger now, but he's not strong. They say he's not strong. Why these people ain't stepping up to him if he's not strong?
He's strong. Hey, one thing I can say this. Shakur I could say this, the best defense in boxing.
No doubt.
Can you explain that to the people? Because I mean, it's hard to explain, but you being a coach, can you explain technically what is Shakur doing in the ring that's keeping his defensive boxing IQ is so high?
Well, first of all, there's a saying, and you guys all heard this before. Defense wins championships. Okay? And I'm going to break it down to you. This is how defense wins championships. Okay? When you have defense in any sport, it prevents the other person from scoring, and it puts you in position to score in every sport. Okay? And like I said, Shakur has, I think God blessed him with an extra sense. It's difficult to hit that. It's difficult to hit that guy. I fought Chris Bird twice. That's another guy that's very difficult to hit. But I don't know. See, Shakur, I can't say this. When he was younger, he may have lost to some people. Okay, but he had that drive. He had that drive to, hey, I want to get better. I want to get better. I want to get better. Kind of like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, okay, he didn't make his high school basketball team, but he had that drive. Hey, and he had that drive to be great. And that's the same thing that Shakur has. He has that drive to be great. And hey, this is a kid that I've never seen anybody else like this kid. Wherever this kid is, wherever he is, if he's not eating or sleeping, guess what he's doing? He's doing this. Ever since he's always, it's in him. No matter where, he's always, and so he's always thinking of it. It's just 24/7 with him if he's not eating or sleeping or being occupied doing, but it's always in his mind, it's always in his heart. And if you ain't got it like that, it's gonna be difficult to beat somebody that's got it like that.
Yes, sir. Give us give me your thoughts on Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder.
Oh wow! I like Wilder a whole lot, and I can tell you that I watched. I think it was, I don't know. Did they have 24/7? I think before that second fight they had 24/7 or something, and I was watching, and I was like, oh man. Wilder is new in the sport, and you know, he's the man. He was the man. But Wilder, you you're new, and you need to listen to people. I know you're the man, but he start making decisions. He start making decisions of who's going to train him as his strength and conditioning trainer, and you know, he became the man. He's making very important decisions, whereas he probably should have left those decisions to somebody that's more experienced. You know, even though he's a heavyweight champion in the world, and I'm not saying he got big-handed, but he's he some of the decisions he make, and I'm looking at TV and I'm like, oh man, he's making a bad decision right here. He should not hire his friend as his S&C and trainer. He should get somebody that's, you know, that's probably a little bit more qualified. You know, he probably should get the best, not just somebody that's just your friend. And I know you want to support your friend, but I was thinking he was making some very important decisions that may hurt him. And unfortunately, it looked like it did. I think he has a chance to come back. I'm saddened that him and Mark Breland fell out, because I think Mark Breland is the one that taught him something that people take for granted, and people don't realize that Deontay has one of the best jabs in the business. People don't recognize. They just look at his knockouts with his right hand. But if you watch, this guy has an educated jab. He can measure you with it. He can snap it. He can touch you with it. You know, and it's something that Mark taught him. And what it does, it allows him to do that other crazy, wild stuff, you know, with power. And that jab allows him to do that. And people take his jab for granted. And even fans, they just think they look at the wild right hands that he throws. But the jab allows that to happen. If you got a good jab, you can do just about anything you want to do in boxing.
Black Star Sports said, that's a fighter. And he's telling you, thank you, coach. What else?
Thank you, Black Star. Thank you. All right, Mike. Exactly, Mike.
Mike 202 say, man, the most important punch is the jab.
Exactly.
So
that 1-2 is something else.
With this being said, if Deontay Wilder, if they bring the fight back, Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder 3, coach, what's your prediction?
Man, when I saw that second fight and the way that Tyson Fury just was going downhill, a man that big, I think it'll be difficult for anybody in the history to beat somebody like that. That's the first thing I was like, man, this dude is just he's too big, and he's just going forward all out. Some of the greatest wouldn't have beat this guy if he has that type of confidence. And it's scary. It's scary. But you know what? For some reason, I think that this guy from England is going to beat him.
What'd you say, coach?
For some reason, I'm thinking this guy from England is going to beat him. What's his name? Joshua. I think Joshua's going to beat him.
So you think Joshua can beat Fury, but what do you think Wilder should do? Black Star say this. Black Star say, what would you suggest Wilder plan to do for the trilogy?
Man. I think Wilder needs to. I think he needs to get somebody to he needs a good coach in his corner, and not making decisions on his own. I think he needs to he needs to rely on a good coach that'll give him some good advice rather than going with his, because he needs to have a strategy to beat Tyson Fury, not just fight. Oh no, boxing is still boxing, and boxing is, yes, you have some fighting in it, but when you get to this level, you got to have a strategy, and you got to have a chief strategist to tell you how to to get through these tough times, and that's the first thing he needs to do is get him somebody on his team that's a good strategist. That's number one.
Okay. And any suggestions? Coach. He buffered out. Hopefully he'll be coming right back. He was having a great conversation. There you go.
Can you hear me? My Wi-Fi went out. I'm here in India.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. Sorry about that.
No problem. So, not putting you under the gun. Any trainers that you would suggest, or maybe possibly you?
Oh, hey, I would love the opportunity, but I think Sugar Hill is good too. If he could take Sugar Hill away from Fury, that'll be a good move.
Oh, they take Sugar Hill away from Fury.
Yeah, take Sugar Hill away from Fury, and Sugar Hill. I'm sure Sugar Hill has some pointers for him. Also, you have his Olympic coach, Bashir Abdullah, who's out there in San Diego. That's another one. He's a good strategist. Al Mitchell.
It was talks before of George Foreman even trying to come back and bring him back. What's your thoughts on that?
George Foreman, like 70-year-old George Foreman.
These were talks that were said. I'm just bringing it up.
For him to box, you're saying?
No, for him to train Deontay Wilder.
I think that my thoughts are this: there's not too many great boxers that make great coaches.
Exactly.
And I think the reason why is because a lot of the things that they've done came a little bit easier to them than what it does to the average person. And let's say like a Sugar Ray Leonard, things came a little bit easier to him, and I can see him trying to tell somebody something, and they're not getting it. And if they're not getting it, he's like, I'm not gonna put up with this foolishness. They'll dib and dab in it and try to show us a little bit, but guess what? Their heart ain't really in it to show somebody else and tell somebody else to do something, especially if they're not going to listen. You'll find a lot of athletes, they don't listen. They don't listen well. And it'll make you frustrated. As a coach, you go through a lot of, you tell people things over and 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 over again, and you get tired of telling them. And you get somebody that's like very talented, they're not going for that bull crap. I'm not going to keep telling this guy, this ain't for me. I'm doing something else. I'm wasting my time with this guy.
Right.
So a lot of great fighters, they don't make great coaches.
Okay. So you still haven't gave me your prediction. So if Wilder doesn't get a great coach, then you don't see Wilder beating Fury. But you feel that Anthony Joshua will be able to stop Fury, right?
Yes, I think Joshua, because I think Joshua got a little bit more sophistication on his side and on his team. Okay.
Okay.
I think sometimes they outsmart themselves, such as when his sports science team, they got him to be too big. They got him very bulky and kind of robotic when he fought Ruiz the first time. And then plus, you got to remember the first time he fought Ruiz, he had a concussion. You know, Joey DeWeco had knocked him out in sparring a couple of days before the fight.
Okay, yes, I do remember that.
Yeah, so he was
concussed. Like
concussed.
Rumors. They tried to make it seem like it was rumors.
Yeah, he was concussed. You know, his father was upset that they had him fight. He had got into it with what's the guy Eddie Hearn, because he didn't feel like his son should fight because he had got knocked out. So you got to look. He was concussed, but then you saw the second fight, how he trimmed back down. Okay.
So listen, Coach, hold on. Not to cut you off. Black Star said, he said, Buddy McGirt. I guess he wasn't agreeing with that one with you. But not to cut you off. If he had a concussion before the fight, why go and still have a fight? Why not push the fight back, Coach?
Money, promoter. Eddie Hearn said, I'm not losing this money. He's good. I'm not losing this money. I spent all this money on this promotion. No, we're gonna beat this. We're gonna beat this fat guy.
But Coach, if you hurt, you said he had a concussion. How many days before the fight?
I don't know the exact many days, but guess what? That's what his father was complaining about. The father said the same thing you said. Hey, we can do this later. No, he's good. He just got caught. He's okay. Okay.
Is it Eddie? Is it Eddie Hearn's the one that's saying, "Hey"?
Well, basement boxing talk. I cannot say because I was not there.
Right.
Somebody there. Somebody said, "Hey, the fight is going on." Somebody said.
Okay,
somebody said.
Listen to this, Coach. I got a question for you. If that was your fighter, would you allow him to still fight?
No, we would not fight. Look, check this out. I had a heavyweight that I trained, you know, from amateur in his first couple of pro fights. Malcolm Tan. He was signed under Goose and Tudor. Okay, he was doing a lot of TV. Okay, he went to Arizona. We was both in the military. He went to, he had got out the military. I was still in the military. So he went to Arizona to fight. And he calls me and said, "Hey, Ron, the guy I was supposed to fight got injured at work, so they put this new guy in for me." I said, "Malcolm." His name's Malcolm Tan. I said, "Malcolm, come on home, man. This don't sound right." No, they got me fighting this guy, Willie. I forgot his last name. Willie, I can't remember his last name. But anyway, we're fighting him. I said, "No, man, don't sound right. Come on home, come on." He said, "No, but I can beat him." I said, "Yeah, I know you can beat him, but come on home." No, I want. So I was like, "Okay, all right." So I fly out. 4-round fight. First round, Malcolm got dropped. He got dropped the first round, and he came back and lost a split decision. He lost a split decision, but I told him, I said, no, this guy had already been in training with Chris Bird, and he ended up losing a split decision. But then he ended up fighting him again, right? He did a back-to-back, fought him again, and he ended up beating the guy. But yeah, I mean, when you go through boxing, you know all the tricks and stuff that they pull all types of tricks, man. I'm telling you, these promoters, they pull all types of tricks, and they understand human behavior to achieve it.
He said they understand human behavior. Right. Cool. Okay. So with that being said, we done talked a little bit about this, a little bit about that. Okay. One of the fights that everybody was okay, listen to this. Give me your thoughts on the way Canelo is moving around in boxing. On this podcast right here, sometimes we talk. It's a good brother. He's not on here today, unfortunately, but the good brother Clarence McLean. He got McLean Promotions, and he also got the No Duck Zone. And on our podcast, we like to talk about fighters who duck. So we feel that Canelo is one that is ducking, picking and choosing his fights, and trying to get his way smooth, selling up out of here in boxing. Tell us your thoughts on Canelo. How did you feel about Canelo?
Well, I think Canelo is on a level whereas he deserves it. He paid his dues. And one thing I do like is, guess what? He's fighting like 3 times a year. Where other people are fighting once a year or once every 2 years. He's fighting 3 times a year. I'm loving it. Wow.
Do you agree with the competition that he's fighting with?
No, I would like to see him fight. I would like to see him fight Andre. I would like to see him fight what's the brothers in Texas? Charlo. I would like to see him fight. I would like to see him fight. What's the guy? The Mexican guy, sharp Mexican guy. I can't think of his name. 168. Caleb Plant. I can't think of the Mexican guy. I like this guy too. I can't think of his name, but he's sharp. Yeah, everybody would like to see these fights.
So it's like, why you think we don't see these fights? Why you think we don't see these fights, Coach?
Well, I would tell you, Basement Boxing, if I had a boxer and he got the belt, my job is to have him keep that belt as long as possible. That's the name of the game. It's not, hey, I don't want you to jeopardize your belt. I want you to be the champion for forever. So that's my job, is to get him the right fight that he can win. My job is not to get him a fight where he can possibly lose, because that prevents him from making money, and that prevents me from making money. So you got to look at it on that aspect as well.
Coach, okay, listen to this. I heard Bob Arum say that same exact thing that you said on another podcast.
Wow.
So, listen, I understand.
I understand that you got to protect your fighters, but by you being a promoter, or you being a promoter, isn't it your duty to get your fighters the best fights, even if it means championship fights? Ain't champions supposed to fight champions?
Basement Boxing, it's not about promoter, it's about manager.
Well, okay, manager. What manager?
Yes,
Okay, well,
I
manager.
don't care about everybody else. I don't care about the fans. I don't care about what you want to see. This is a business for me and my boxer. It's not about you. It's not about you. It's about me and my boxer.
But the fans are. If without the fans, what is boxing, coach?
Hey, with Canelo, are they gonna? If you know what? Back in the day, what did they used to say? I think they used to have something called the Bum of the Month Club, whereas a champion fighter will fight somebody that's never heard of. You know, to give a regular Joe an opportunity to fight for the heavyweight championship. Okay, what happened to those days? Give a regular Joe Smo opportunity. Yes, David Benavidez. Thanks a lot, Black Star Sports. Yeah, David Benavidez. That's a sharp guy right there. We would like to see that. We would like to see those fights. But as a manager, your job is to protect what's yours. Now the promoters like this. The promoter, guess what? You're usually going to fight somebody that's under my promotions anyway. So the promoter's always going to be taken care of. Because the promoter's not going to let you fight somebody that's with somebody else. Guess what? You're going to fight somebody good that's in my stable, that's under my promotions. Okay? So you can't worry about it. It's not the promoter, it's the manager. The manager will tell the promoter, no, you're not fighting this guy.
I understand that. Okay, so listen. So by being the manager is to control the fighter's destiny. Basically.
That's what the managers do. I manage your career. Okay, so why are you gonna do something that I tell you not to do?
So okay, my thing is this. This is the thing that we said on the show before. We said maybe we give people flowers before they time. And I'm saying this with Canelo. I'm saying this with Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford was dominant at 135. 140, stepped up to 140. The division was kind of already set up and cleaned up for him. 147, he hasn't fought no top tier competition. But we gave him his flowers at 135 and 140. Oh, he first ballot Hall of Fame. Now he steps up to 140. We don't see the fight in the competition. No, he's not fighting no top competition. The same way with Canelo. We gave Canelo his flowers after he fought Floyd, after he fought Triple G. Now he handpicking. He fought his sparring partner, coach. He fought his sparring partner. They gave him $25 million to fight his sparring partner, coach. And they stopped it. They stopped it. He didn't stop. The corner stopped it.
Hey, look, I'll tell you something. You know, years ago, Chris Bird was a heavyweight champion. I think a WBA champion. And another friend of ours, Darrell Williamson, he from DC. He was a quarterback for Roosevelt Rough Riders. But he ended up fighting him and Chris will fight each other. And I'm like, man, why are you guys fighting each other? I don't want to see that. And Darrell said, yo, man, you don't want to see me make no money? He said, man, I got to take this fight. Hey, I want to make some money. He's a friend. He let his friend fight him so that he can have money too. So, hey, it's a business. Let your friend eat too.
With you saying that, Mike 202 asked the question. He said, politics and boxing, protect the belt or protect the fighter's oath?
Well, I would tell you that we have different types of fighters. Okay, we have different type of people. Some people fight, you know, for the money, and you know, they fight, you know, to protect to protect that O, as you say. But then you have some fighters that fight for greatness, and there's not so many of those that fight for greatness. There's a very minuscule amount that fight for greatness. Other people fight for other things. They talk stuff, and they fighting for celebrity and people to follow them and all this stuff. But you got this very small portion that fight for greatness, and it's very small. It's tiny.
Right.
People like a Sugar Ray Leonard. It's very tiny.
I understand exactly what you're saying. Mike 202 said the manager promoters care about their pockets just like the sanctioning bodies.
Exactly. Just exactly, Mike. You understand. You got it. It's a business.
Black Star says Pacquiao trying to fight Earl now. Bud team don't got the money. They was bluffing. Oh shit.
Well, EJ called him out. He called him out politely when he fought Garcia. Well, not was it Garcia? What's the guy? Mikey Garcia.
Yeah.
Yeah. EJ called him out politely, and he was like he didn't want none of that. But Pacquiao, everybody wants to fight Pacquiao because he's the cash cow. You're gonna get paid the highest you can get.
Okay, now listen to this. Pacquiao did some bullshit, coach. Pacquiao gave up his WBA belt, right? So Ugas got it. He forfeited from inactivity. Now Ugas got the belt. So now you tell me Earl Spence is supposed to stop and say, fuck it, I'm gonna fight you now, Pacquiao, but you don't have a belt, and I'm trying to be unified, or do I go on and fight Ugas and then keep putting the pressure on Terrence Crawford?
I mean, I think EJ is in a good position right now. He can call a shot. He can if he's fighting for greatness, he would probably fight Pacquiao. Greatness and money, because he'll get more money fighting Pacquiao. But then again, he fight Ugas. He fight for the belt, and then he turned around. He got the belt, and guess what? Now he can command more money. Even it's more valid for him to get more money fighting Crawford, getting the bigger piece of the pie.
And that's one of the things that we talk about on this channel. Why in the world would Terrence Crawford to try to consider a fight with Pacquiao when he making the money that he's asking for fighting against Earl Spence? He'd make that fighting Earl Spence. He was willing to take $10 million and fight Pacquiao. But if you think about it, him fighting Earl Spence anywhere, he gonna make $10 million or better.
I think he'll make more money fighting Pacquiao. Okay, if he's getting a percentage of the pay-per-view, no doubt. I mean, that's not even questionable. Fighting Pacquiao will bring more money than anybody in boxing right now, even Canelo. If you fight Pacquiao, he just got so many people that support him that fighting him is the most lucrative move that any boxer can make.
Yeah, this is just a grinder again. But Coach, like we the brothers just talk about this, and I'm glad you brought Pacquiao. Pacquiao had the belt for almost 2 years. They gave him a lot of time to defend it, and not one time he has not defended. Could you explain that, please? Now I know that as a champion, you said strive for greatness, and why Pacquiao within a year and a half has not defended the belt?
Who was the last guy that Pacquiao fought?
Keith Thurman.
Yep.
And what was that? Was like a year and a half, right?
Yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah, about 2 years ago.
Okay,
The
okay,
part. All right.
because the pandemic, I guess the pandemic might play a part in that. Um, uh, but actually, I don't think Pacquiao. Man, Pacquiao is set for life, man. I mean, I life, but they do say that he spends a lot of money on his community and on the poor people. He's building houses for them and all that stuff. But I don't know. I think Pacquiao, he can fight. He can fight anybody, and he's gonna bring in a lot of money. He doesn't have to fight he doesn't have to fight the best. He doesn't. He's just gonna bring in money just off of his name alone.
Right. Yes, sir. So Black Star say fight Ugas, then Pacquiao, then Crawford. Get all the money, huh?
Hey, I think that's what EJ gonna do. He's gonna try to fit all of them in before he moves up.
That's what's up. But
EJ
then,
is special too. He's a special guy. Crawford, I mean, I heard you talk about Crawford, but Crawford's a special guy too, man. These guys are hey, Crawford reminds me of he reminds me of a Deontay Wilder, but with a little bit more skillful and a little bit more experience than Deontay.
I don't have nothing against Terrence Crawford. I don't have nothing against Terrence Crawford. I think Terrence Crawford he's a great fighter. But my thing is when Terrence Crawford moved up to 147, he hasn't fought anyone. He hasn't fought anyone. There's been top competition.
Who wants to fight him?
Who wouldn't fight him?
That's what I'm asking. Who wants to fight him? Who's called him out? Who wants to fight him?
Earl been called him out.
That's a little difficult.
He could have fought Danny, Sean Porter. It's a list of guys out there. It's a list of 147s that he could have fought. And then they blame it. Oh, Bob. He want to blame it on Bob. Bob want to blame it on him. And we got that problem. That's the problem we got. So our thing is on this channel right here. When Terrence Crawford knew he was moving up from 40 to 47, he had signed a contract back with Bob Arum. Knowing that Al Heyman, not trying to be political or favorites to nobody, not no favorite to nobody, but knowing that PBC gets all the top fighters from 30 to 54-60. You know that your top competition, the guys that's holding these belts, are at PBC. Why would you not go with PBC? And it's another thing. I don't see no fighters on PBC asking for money. I don't see no PBC fighters in needs of no money. So why would Terrence Crawford stick with Bob Arum and do this to his own career? Now you say management. Who do you blame that on? Who do you blame this on? Oh man, let me get the perfect words out. Okay, so do you blame Terrence Crawford? Do you blame his manager? Or do you blame whoever he hired to hire his manager? The people who was in his ear to have him hire his manager.
Well, basement boxing, I look at it a little different.
Okay.
If my friends and my family that I train with are with Top Rank, guess what? These are the people I train with. This is my family. These are my people. Guess what? I'm sticking with my people. All the boxers I train with are with Top Rank. Everybody on my team is with Top Rank. Why would I go with somebody else? And this is my team. I'm sticking with my team.
Now, Jamal Herring left and went to MTK.
Yeah, you think Jamel Herring left? You got to look at Jamel. Look at Jamel's situation. Look at Jamel's. Look at Jamel. Jamel is older, okay, and from what I'm looking at is that Jamel is with Top Rank. He's still with Top Rank. Jamel is still with Top Rank, okay, and with Jamel, you got to remember he was with Rashid and them at first. He's with Mike Stafford and Rashid and them at first. Okay, I guess he wasn't doing too well. But I'll tell you one thing about Jamel. Jamel is one that I trained him as an amateur also with the Marine team. Jamel is a hard worker. He's a hard worker, and he's a pleasure to have in your camp because guess what? He's going to give it all he got. Okay, he's going to motivate whoever's with the team. He's going to motivate the team, and guess what? He got with Crawford, and guess what? Crawford is maybe he's motivating Crawford, but guess what? And Crawford is also giving him something back and teaching him some things. And guess what? With Jamel, people always underestimate him. He's always been underestimated. Okay, but guess what? When he fought this guy Frampton, I called it. We was on Clubhouse, and I told him exactly what Hayden. I told him exactly how it was gonna go, and it went exactly. I said, man, I called it.
Yeah, I got that one wrong. I definitely got it wrong. I was thinking that I think the fight before that, Jamel, I thought had quit. I seen Jamel quit, and I was thinking that Frampton was gonna come out with a different style than he fought, but Frampton he just didn't have it in him that night. He did everything, and not to take nothing away from Jamal, because Jamal boxed a hell of a fight. That was one of his best performances I ever seen him put on.
It is his best performance.
And I salute that brother, man. But yeah, I picked that one wrong. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a man of my word. I had picked Frampton. I thought that maybe Frampton was gonna be able to stop Jamel probably from hard body shots. And I thought maybe Jamel, I thought he might have stopped. He might have quit because I thought he quit the fight before that. I thought he might have quit on me. But he did a turnaround, and that guy looked very impressive, and I salute him for the victory. I was wrong. Hey, now I would like to see him fight Shakur Stevenson.
Well, I want to say one thing. You must don't know too much about Marines. Marines don't quit. They never quit. They may look like you, but they don't quit.
I just thought the fight before that he was hurt, and I thought he could have kept going. But listen, to this, I'm not the one in the ring, so I'm not the one taking the punches. So I'm just a spectator. You feel me? I'm just a spectator. But people and the fans would like to see Jamal Herring and Shakur Stevenson. And how you think about that fight? What you think about that fight?
Well, I've already said, but I think he's looking at fighting Valdez. So I think they're in talks now. Him and Valdez are in talks. But I would like to see Shakur fight anybody for a belt. In the fight, if you look at their list, they listed the top 10, and they didn't even have Shakur up there. I'm like, what are they talking about? They don't even have Shakur listed in the top 10. What is going on?
I don't know what list they made. I want to know, go more point, who making this list up? It has to be somebody don't know boxing though. I don't understand why I'm seeing unknown names that I've never seen before. I don't know who's they fighting. It seems like somebody fight from Afghanistan or something. Some funny that I don't understand. No, cause you know because you know I'm telling the truth. I don't know these people. Big people like Foy and where are they fighting? Are they fighting in a bar or something or in a skating ring? I don't know. Somebody got to explain it to me.
Hey, you telling the truth, man. You ain't telling nothing but the truth.
Man, I might as well, coach. I'd rather you coach me. Let me get a ring. We can make some money too. Maybe I can get a belt. You know what I mean? I listen to you, yo, coach. Yo, we can get this middleweight. Yo, we can get this in 6 months. I know I can get 6 months. You train me right. I know it.
Hey, Mike
This is
202
funny.
said, Harris, I will not hold up against Valdez or Stevenson.
Hey,
Yeah,
but you know what? He'll get paid. He'll get paid very well.
That's all you got to say, Coach. You get paid very well.
You pay very well.
It's a business, man. It's a business. It's a business. Yeah, that's one thing that us fans, we don't look at it that way. We look at, hey, we just want to see the best fights. And yes, I think we do deserve to see the best fights. But also, these boxers deserve to make as much money as they can make as well.
Mike 202 says Stevenson needs to get away from Top Rank. How you feel about Shakur Stevenson signed with Top Rank?
I don't know his dealings with Top Rank, but I think that he signed with the best manager in the business, and I had a talk with him years ago. I don't know if you remember this, but I planted the seed. And I told him, hey, the best guy to go with is Jay Prince, and that's the best guy to go with. I said, if I was boxing that today, and I had someone that I had an opportunity to sign with, it would be Jay Prince, bar none. He's the best. He's the best guy for any of these young boxers, and I'm telling you the honest to God truth.
Before Shakur last fight, he had Andre Ward with him. What happened with that?
Oh, I don't know. They're still close, but I guess Andre was his co-manager. I don't know I don't know the situation, so I can't speak on that. But
it's probably no need to have a co-manager and a manager.
Yeah, I think Jay Prince was Andre Ward's manager, and Andre respects Jay Prince very much, and it's reciprocated by Jay Prince as well. But I don't know the situation there. I can't speak on the situation, but both of them are good people, and they're still friends. Andre, Shakur, and Jay Prince. They're still a team.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. We got about 15 more minutes before the show got to wrap up. Underrated. You got any questions you want to ask? I guess not. Let me see. Give me your thoughts. Give me your thoughts with. Okay, you said. Yeah, we done talked about a little bit of everything. Hold on, it's something I want to make sure I don't forget. Make sure I don't forget. We talked about Earl Spence. Okay, Teofimo Lopez. That's what I want to talk about. And I want to get your opinion on how the WBC made a franchise belt. And okay, Teofimo Lopez, he beats Lomachenko. He gets these belts. He has all the belts besides the WBC belt. And he got the WBC franchise belt. Devin Haney has the WBC belt. And what are your thoughts on how they make this franchise belt, and WBC is just able to make all these belts. And just give me your thought on that, or your opinion on all these belts and how you feel about all these belts in boxing.
I think it's good for boxing, and this is the reason I think it's good, because it allows these young kids to make more money. It allows them to make money because they're fighting for. They got more belts. It gives more people more opportunities. So you guys you guys look at it as hey, we want who's the real champion and all this. But guess what? It's giving a lot. There's a lot of boxers that don't have the opportunity. The more belts, the more opportunities for these young kids to make money. That's the way that I see it.
Okay, so then does it decrease the value of these titles? When you got a guy that's trying to be undisputed, and here it is, he can't be undisputed because a guy with a franchise belt don't have to defend. He can just move up and move around and not have to have any mandatories. So how are we really seeing the best in boxing?
I think the president of WBC, he's going to have to determine what to do with that. And but I do think that it allows these young kids to to make more money. I don't think it devalues. Actually, it values because they're making more money.
Black Star said, what are your thoughts on the Tank Davis and Mario Barros fight? It's fighting at 140 and Tank moving up to fighting at 140.
Tank is another kid that I like, very talented kid. So I would be biased. I think Tank can handle. He can handle 140. He's a strong puncher, and he's very talented. He's been talented since he was a little boy. So, I couldn't really say anything. I don't know too much about Mario Barrios, but I'm kind of biased towards Tank. So it wouldn't be right for me to say, because I'm going to say Tank. I'm biased. I'm biased.
Would you okay, do you like Tank fighting at that 140 weight though?
I think Tank can fight it the way he wants to fight it. He trains and he's a strong kid, and he's a super talented kid. I think this is my opinion. When you reach a certain level of expertise in the sport of boxing, weight really doesn't matter too much. Okay, if it's a whole lot of weight, then it becomes a problem. But weights, if you look at like Floyd Mayweather, back in the day he was sparring heavyweights, and he was a little guy, 154, and he's sparring heavyweights. So when you got skill, when your skill set is high, it doesn't really matter too much about the weight, in my opinion.
Okay, but okay, I was just saying that because Tank had mentioned before that he felt his best weight was fighting at 130. We know he has a title at 130. He has a title at 135, and he possibly has a chance to get a title at 140. I was just hoping that Tank's last fight, he spent like 16 weeks in training camp, and I was just hoping that maybe this fight that he's coming in at fighting at 140, maybe he'd be kind of relaxed in training camp, and I don't want him to get over relaxed. And we get over relaxed, that's when things happen.
Well, I will tell you this. One thing that I've learned throughout my years in boxing is that once you go up a weight class, it's very difficult to go back down to the next weight class. Okay, I mean, this is a lesson that I've seen happen so many times.
We talked
You know,
about that about Roy Jones.
Yes, it's very difficult, and it's very harmful to your body as well.
Mike 202 said, I support fighters getting all the money they can. I cannot support a belt that allows a fighter to pick and choose his opponents. You're right. You're right.
Well, I think sometimes you should have mandatory. You shouldn't have to have a mandatory at every fight. I don't think so. I think you should not have a tough fight every fight. You got to realize these are people. Boxers are people, and if we got a lot of boxers that's old that people have forgotten about, that ain't living too well. Their quality of life is pretty low because they gave the fans all that they want, and now the fans care nothing about them. These boxers are people too.
Right.
They're only trying to make a living.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Number one grinder, you still there?
Yeah.
We got about 7 minutes before I got to close.
I'm still here. I'm still here.
We got about 7 minutes before we got to close the show up here. You got any last question? Any questions you want to?
Yeah, I want to ask you a question, Coach. Do you think the former fighters should be more do more commentary and judges? Can't hear you.
You said former fighters?
Yes.
Okay. I think it's good for former fighters to be in commentary. I think some of the best. My opinion, I think the best one that's done it is Antonio Tarver.
Yeah.
I think he's the best one that's done it so far. Andre Ward is good, but believe it or not, I like Timothy Bradley even more because I think he's real about what he says. He's not trying to cater to anybody, and I love his honesty. I don't think that boxers should necessarily be judges, okay? Because just because you're a boxer or a good boxer, it doesn't make you a good judge.
Gotcha.
So judging is something that that is taught, and they have different criteria that you got to go by. And just because you're a boxer doesn't mean that you will be a good judge or a good referee. It just doesn't work that way.
Okay. You know what? I asked that, Coach, because there's quite a few fighters, as you know, but it's like a change of time. A lot of these fighters, they retired. They work second jobs. And I feel the commentating of boxing right now, to me, what I'm observing is an all-time low. And like not putting in your class because we ain't gonna talk about you. You in another class. You know the box. We ain't gonna talk. But I'm talking about the ones who never box. They don't know the ins and outs of it as a fighter is. And I find that when I watch a certain fight, it seems like I have to be my own commentator instead of be the fan. You get what I'm saying? And to me, it's like if I have like Kevin Kelly, I think they should keep him. He called great fights. He break it down, like Tarver and stuff like that. It just for me that some of these people that are calling these fight, calling them, y'all never laced up. You never spar or nothing. You don't know what it's like to fight when you in pain. You don't know. What do you know? So sometimes I be actually like, oh my goodness, when is he gonna shut up? I do, but when you don't know. But it seems like these networks to be hiring these people instead of to get a fighter like Job. You don't get Job, you can break it down, boom, 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 just like okay, you gotta look for this, you gotta look for that. I'm like, it's like I'm a commentator. Listen, if he go to the body, man, he hurt. If he not to shift his left, but I'm saying, why I gotta do your job? Give me the money and I do your job. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, number one, Grinder. Hey, you know, and I think the problem with our commentators today is that number one, they're biased. They already got who they want to win. Yeah. And number two, they don't promote boxing the way it should be promoted, such as what you call it, the MMA. MMA, they do a spectacular a spectacular job in promoting their sport. Somebody can throw the most awful punch, and they would like hype it up as like it's the best punch in the world. Whereas boxing, our commentators, they criticize. Nobody wants to watch something. If you say something is bad, people turn away from it. But you say something is good and it can be terrible. Guess what? It's going to attract people because you're putting in their mind that it's good. And boxing is doing a poor job. Our commentators are doing a poor job in promoting boxing in a positive light.
Thank you. Somebody asked that question right. Thank you so much. Because it's boring. I mean, as a coach, if you look at it and say, where's they looking at? Where's they talking about? And then they bring these analysts. Oh, like one time I was watching the fight. Oh, if he moved like a giraffe, move his neck like a giraffe. Giraffe had nothing to do with boxing. What is you talking about? Won't you shut up, man? I'm getting tired of them. And these networks be giving them millions and millions of dollars. I'd rather you coach. Yo, give it to coach, man. Coach, listen. You call the fight. I'd be happy because I just want to be a fan. You understand what I'm saying? I want to be a fan. At times, I don't want to be no commentator. At times, I just want to do my show on my thing. That's it. Give me the money. I call better than you. I don't understand it. These people, man, I'm getting pissed off with these people, man. They don't know what they're talking about. What are you talking about? Oh, look at him. Look at his shorts. Oh man, look. What his shorts got something to do with fighting? Oh, what are you talking about? Oh, look at he looks tired. He looks sweaty. He's supposed to sweat, you dummy. He's sparring. What are you talking about? Oh, it pissed me off, man. They don't know nothing about boxing. Sweat. So the person supposed to come to boxing is pale, not sweating. Oh, you know, why he perspire? I don't get it, man. Oh man, I quit. I ain't gonna say no more, but you know what I'm talking about.
You got me down, number one grinders. You got me down over here, man.
Coach, you know I'm telling the truth. You know I'm telling the truth, Coach.
Hey, basement boxing. Hey, thank you very much for inviting me on here. I had an awesome time, man, and I appreciate you bringing me on. And I look forward to talking to you even more in the future.
Yes, sir. Hey, I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you, Coach, man, for coming up, spending your time. Hey, especially you all the way in another country. Hey, I appreciate you, brother. Hey, I appreciate you. I know we on 2 different times. Hey, I appreciate you coming through, spreading your knowledge with us, and spread experience with us, man. Hey, anytime, man. You know I'm gonna keep in touch with you, Coach. I appreciate you. Come back anytime.
All right, thanks a lot. When I come home, I'm going to look you up.
Yes,
you guys
sir.
Take care. Thanks
all
again.
Right. Yes, sir.
All right, thanks a lot. Number one
grinder. All right,
thanks. All right.
Hey, and number one grinder, anything you want to say before we close out?
Now, I just want to say thanks again, brother, of an outstanding show that you always do. Please support Basement Boxing Talk. He's on YouTube, plus he on Clutch Sports. He come every Saturday. Please support. This is one of the realest boxing channel that you ever heard. He bring great thing. You see what happened today? He bring another one in here. If you want to know true boxing, come here. You will not be disappointed. We got Coach up here. He broke it down business and he broke it down. We need to support shows like this and even Coach like our brother right here. Because in boxing right now, I'm talking what I'm seeing is not happening. So we gotta bring the realness back here. And the coach right here, he's the realness. Basement, you got Black Star, including myself, and Clarence. We's gonna tell the truth. And we're gonna bring people that's gonna tell the truth, that talk about the boxing, the essence of boxing, that we need to hear. That the casual fans do refuse to hear. But us as hardcore, we have to set a movement. It's up to us, not the casual no more, because they had their time. So the hardcore, we have to come back and bring Coach and listen and learn from so we could know about boxing. We just want to see great fights, Coach. That's all we're saying.
Hey, I like to say, I salute Coach Sims, man. Thank you for coming out on the show, man. I appreciate you and spreading your knowledge with the show. I like to say, salute to the good brother, the #1 grinder. Hey, go subscribe to his channel. It's the good brother talk not only boxing, the good brother talks about everything, health, wealth, everything. Go subscribe to his channel. I like to say, good salute to the good brother, Black Star Sports TV, my good brother. Go to his channel, support him, subscribe to him. Hit the like button on it, get him some subscribers. Our good brother, Clarence McLean, McLean Productions. Also, the No Duck Zone. So go to him, subscribe to him. I'd like to salute everybody that's been in the chat. Mike, my good brother, Mike 202. My good brother Mike 202, Black Star Sports TV, Boo Robinson. Oh, man. Who else? Everybody was in the chat, man. There's been so many people in the chat. I like this. The good brother Clarence McLean, good brother, you coming in. We ending the show. Salute, brother. How you doing?
I'm sorry for getting in so late, man. I didn't think that the traffic outside would be like that. I apologize. Salute to the chat, salute to the panel. Underrated, what's up?
What's good, homie?
Oh man, I'm sorry, man, for this delay, man.
Hey, no problem. Hey, they got a show coming on here on Clutch, bro. We gotta close this out. I'm gonna hit you good brothers up here in a few minutes.
Do that.
All right.
I'd like to say thanks for everybody who was here, who supported the show. And you already know, go to Basement Boxing Talk and subscribe to the good brother, man. Give me some likes, man. And next week, same time. You already know that your boy Basement. And we out.
Peace.
Peace.